A respawn point is a common feature in a lot of video games, with some of them tying into the world's theming and story. I've been designing a small project for a fantasy mouse character, and part of the world building includes adding a respawn point of some kind. The character lives in a frozen world and has to use a floral-based magic called bestowings to navigate it and bring down colossal beasts that roam it, or something along those lines anyway. I was then thinking about what I would want to happen to the character when they were defeated by the beasts. Either they would respawn at a random save point, or it would be more like a roguelike world where they respawn back in a specific place. I felt that the specific respawn point worked better for the story aspect of the world that I'm developing, so perhaps the character starts out with that, but potentially in future this might not be the only point. So I was trying to decide what type of design I would want to have for the respawn point. I've been playing a lot of Hades again recently, and I always loved how Zagreus has to walk out of the river Styx back into the house, especially when you can get the house upgrade to cover the steps and flowers. I've also always loved the style and colour palette for the video game, especially the Lyceum area, so I wanted to use this as an inspiration for the development of this respawn point for my project. I knew I wanted the character to rise out of the water, something like a pond or spring with flowers surrounding it. I also wanted it to look a little bit like a grave, to symbolise the character being resurrected, perhaps like a flooded grave. I added an engraved stone behind the pool to look a bit like a gravestone, and made the floral engravings glow slightly to give it a bit of a magical aura. I didn't want to add too many flowers to the respawn point, since I liked the white flowers in the pool and wanted that to be a focal point along with the stone. When it came to the colours, I used a lot of cool colours, such as like the Elysium area in the Hades game, which gave the pool a refreshing, almost minty feeling. This probably won't be the final look overall, it's just sort of more of a starting off point, but I do like the simplicity to the design. Perhaps I'll expand it to show more of the surrounding environment. I feel that it will complement the snowy environment around it quite well. I think it would also be good to visualise my mouse character rising out of it, which will probably give me a better idea of how big or small to make it. Although since it's designed to be like a grave, it'll probably be sized more to the character anyway. Before I end this quick video, I also thought I'd share some updated designs of my mouse character. He hasn't got a name yet, so he is still just main mouse character. As well as mice, I have been getting inspiration from other rodent-like creatures to get more unique visual ideas for him. I do want to get started on designing other characters as well. Even though they'll be starting out in a semi-cursed state to begin with, they are so important to the story from a visual perspective. Designing a mouse character is quite challenging when it comes to balancing the details and stylization of the design, so designing more on top and making sure that they're all distinctive enough from each other will be interesting to explore, especially when considering their roles in the world. I'm still debating if I want him to have any armour, but I honestly just like the visual of just the scarf and sword with the face and ears poking out from above, along with the minimal pieces of accessories like the silver arm and leg braces. This mini project isn't really specific for any particular medium. I just like designing worlds through the lens of video games since they provide me with a lot of inspiration for constructing the worlds. I'm looking forward to sharing more on this small project soon. In the meantime, I'll definitely be studying more media for inspiration. Let me know if you have any recommendations for other video games or films, etc., since I'm trying to explore new stuff along with my current interests.